It's noisy, but I hope the audio is fine. This is actually really crucial, what I'm about to talk about. There is no enlightenment. And the more that we think that there is a certain enlightenment that we need to reach, that once you reach enlightenment, you'll have this life thing figured out, and you'll eventually and you'll essentially, be happy and be at peace, and all your suffering will be over because you'll eventually you have won the game of life, right? Wrong. There is no enlightenment. There is nothing there. If we keep going on thinking that, okay, the end goal, the point is enlightenment, we're going to keep going forever and you're going to drive yourself crazy. Or you're going to commit suicide, or you're going to fall back into the system, which is the goal mostly, is for you to just give up on it and say whatever, stop believing in it, go back to the system. Or maybe you don't stop believing in it, but you give up and you just go back to the system because for whatever reason it's not working, right? When you have that mindset of, I have to reach a certain enlightenment, a certain level of understanding, and then all my suffering will be over. If you have that mindset, then you're going to be doing all these practices, and you're going to be trying to apply all of these spiritual truths, and you're going to be trying to apply all this information, and you're going to be seeing the results in your life, and the results are going to be good. But I'm speaking from experience when I tell you you're still going to be suffering. It's still not going to be there, although you're still not going to feel like you have won the game of life. So then you're going to go, okay, so then something is still missing. Maybe I need to go harder. Maybe I need to apply these lessons harder. Maybe I need to watch more videos. Maybe I need to talk to myself more. And then now all you're doing is going more and more, is going deeper into a psychotic break, for one, but also going more deeper into a cycle, and attaching yourself more and more to this cycle that is never meant to end, that is never meant for you to reach a certain enlightenment. It's a trick. It's to get you to keep spinning in circles, keep spinning, keep going, keep trying to figure it out, keep going until you just stop. Until you stop and come back to their world, come back to their system. And even if you don't come back to their system, you will come back here. You would still be trapped in within the cycle of reincarnation, because you've missed the point. You see what I'm saying? The point isn't to find enlightenment, because who said that you didn't know? Who said that there is even anything to know? Because there's a such thing as contradiction, and because there's a such thing as paradox within the universe, there is nothing to know. There is no straight answers. Duality is literally a human-made concept. There's no such thing as good and bad. This is the basics. We know this already. So, if duality is an illusion, right, then what makes us think that in the realm of getting to the truth, that there would be duality there. You see what I'm saying? This is true. This is a lie. Yes. No. Like, no. It don't work like that. There's no such thing as yes, no. Truth, lie. There is no duality. That's an illusion. Because there's paradox and there's contradictions that exist within the universe. You could say you're not confident, but you're confident that you're not confident. That's a paradox. They contradict each other. These contradictions. I don't know. Did I say I said something else. I said another C word, but I meant contradictions. These contradictions. Okay? And so in trying to reach enlightenment, it's having a dual mindset, in a very slick way. You're still a little bit slickly in the dual mindset. When you have that idea of, I need to reach enlightenment, I need to end my suffering. You see what I'm saying? Because like I had just explained, with contradictions and paradoxes existing within the universe, it's like everything is happening at the same time. You're suffering, but you feel comfortable and good within your suffering. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, the main message that I want to get in this video is that all that there is to do is to be radically honest with yourself, and that's pretty much to do shadow work. It's to be radically honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and stay as present in the moment as you can. Be as honest as you can. Keep it real with yourself, as real as you can, and remain present. Remain in the real world. Remain in the present moment as much as you can, and keep it as real and honest with yourself, radically honest with yourself as much as you can. That's all. Because when you do that, no one can trick you. You can't fall for any of these tricks or anything, or any of you'll be able to see through shit, is what I'm trying to say. And that's really how you save your soul and protect your soul. It's not in the knowledge. It's not in all of the information. It's not in it's if you like to learn, I like to learn, that's cool. But you can literally make truth out of anything. You see what I'm saying? You can make anything make sense. And just because it makes sense don't mean it's true. You see what I'm saying? I have videos in my channel where I talk about and I break down how we literally make truths using lies, which is our five senses. Because our five senses, there is an illusion. It just hooks us up to an illusion. It's not real, so we're using an illusion to try to build and create and structure a society. So it's like already the starting point is a lie. So whatever it is that you're about to, no matter how much sense it makes, it's not true. See what I'm saying? Scientists do it all the time. They make truth. And so what I'm saying is, you like to learn, that's great. You want to know how it got this bad? You want to know how the fuck shit got like this? You curious about that? Great. But just know that whether you know why things are this way or not, or how they got this way or not, whether you understand the story of humanity and whether you know that or not, it really don't got shit to do with saving your soul. You cannot know shit. That's why you have sheep. Like, you can come across a sheep that's like not spiritual at all, but you still see that they're in tune. You see what I'm saying? And it's because they're radically honest with themselves. They do shadow work, and they're grounded. They're down to earth. They're in the present moment. But they're a sheep. They don't know about the government. They don't know about lost souls falling. And they don't know about all that. They don't need to. It's not necessary for your soul to escape the cycle of reincarnation and to be free. It's not necessary. The only thing that's necessary to escape reincarnation and to escape the zodiac wheel and to free your soul and to be as sovereign as you could possibly be, as your right within this vast universe, is to be radically honest, brutally honest with yourself, and to keep it real with yourself, and to remain present. That's the only way that you'll save your soul, and your soul will remain saved. Meaning, like, you'll be able to see through bullshit, and nobody will be able to trick you again. Nobody will be able to trap you into a thought loop to get you to want to kill yourself, or to get you to want to just give up on everything and to just fall back in line. No one's going to be able to do nothing to you. You're going to be able to see all the bullshit. Because you keep it real with yourself. And that's the starting point. You are the starting point. You keep it real with yourself, and then now you can keep it real with everything else around you in the world. And then now whatever these Masons or whatever is at the top, whatever these industry people try to throw at you to try to suck you in and try to hook your attention, it just won't work. It just won't. Because you are just so radically, you're a realist. You just see through it. Like, bro, you mean to tell me I won't get no niggas if I don't wear this perfume? So I have to smell a certain way. So you mean to tell me, like, you just keep it real? So it's like you can't watch an ad like that, can't pop up like how it used to back in the day, and just be like, oh, like, be mesmerized and be tantalizing, like, men want girls that smell good, and then it's like, oh wow, like, okay. It's like, no, because you're gonna keep it real at the end of the day. You're gonna stop and be like, okay, but come on, you see what I'm saying? Like you know. And it starts with you. As long as you're keeping it real with yourself, you won't even have to think when it comes to anything else in the world outside of you. People, thoughts, feelings, emotion, anything else, you'll keep it. You'll easily be able to keep it real without you even having to, like, second guess, think. Like, it'll just come the fuck out. Like, it's easy as fuck to be real, to keep it real. It's not easy to keep it real with yourself. But that's why once you win that battle with yourself, and you're able to keep it real with yourself now, and you're able to just be honest with yourself and just get on that path, now you've got over the hard part. Everything else is smooth sailing after that. Literally. Now you're literally just, like, living your life, staying connected to the truth, staying connected to the present moment, so nobody could fuck you over. Nobody could trap your soul. Nobody could put you in some form of hell. Nobody could put you on a... Truth is your armor, because the truth is your armor, and the truth is your sword. But the truth that you have with yourself, So it's really that relationship with yourself that's the armor. The truth is like the sword, and it's like the relationship and the truth, and it's like it's just the bond with yourself. And the truth is like it's working together, and that's really all you need, guys. That's really all you need to end your suffering and to start feeling like you're winning in life. and 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 you won't, honestly, like when you get this, you won't feel like you won't feel like you need to know how humanity got like this, or who's at the top, the masons, who's pulling the strings behind closed door. You really won't care to know, because like you're living your best life. You're not suffering, you're not in pain, you're okay. You're okay. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And the only reason why we're in our journeys in the first place, we're in the spiritual mess in the first place, is because everything wasn't okay. We were suffering. You see what I'm saying? But then now take away the suffering. We don't need to do this anymore. You see? You're out of hell. And stay out of hell. Shadow work, radical honesty, present moment, deep bond connection with yourself. And the deep bond and connection with yourself comes naturally. It comes from you being radically honest with yourself, brutally honest with yourself. That's where the relationship comes, the deep bond, sacred bond with yourself comes from. It comes from the radical honesty. So just focus on keeping it real with yourself and being present. That's how you save your soul. That's how you end your suffering. Okay? And that's really all that matters. That's all that matters. It doesn't really matter how we got here, because we're fucking here. I mean, I guess if you want to know how so it don't happen again, yeah, I guess, yeah, true. But it's not important in terms of making sure that, in terms of getting out of hell, in terms of saving yourself and your soul, right? So, and when I say hell, I mean internal suffering, hell, suffering, okay? I love you guys, all right? Yeah, yeah. Okay, nothing's coming through. You are a warrior. I love you. And I'm letting you know right now, the only thing that could stop you from... Huh? Oh, hello. Huh? Huh? Oh. And it's hot as fuck in this car. But, because I'm proud of you and you're strong as fuck, because the mental loop that you will find yourself in, um, it's a whole, it's a hell. It's a whole, it's and you're literally just spinning, and you're just going in circles. And you're applying these truths, and like they're working, and it's just like, well, what is it? And you just keep going in circles, like you just keep going back into rabbit holes, keep going back into um um like having to rehear things that you already heard, and having and but thinking deeper about it, like maybe I got it wrong, or maybe I took it the wrong way, and it's like you just keep, and you're just gonna keep and and for a while you keep doing this. At least for me, for a while I kept doing this, um thinking that like maybe if I apply it enough, if I apply enough truth, and if I do it enough, then maybe it would click, then maybe I won't feel like I'm suffering anymore, and I'll you know what I mean? But there's nothing that, and I really want you to get this. There's nothing that you have to do. There's nothing that you're meant to do, that you're supposed to do, that you must do, you have to do. There's nothing that you have to do. There's nothing that you the only well actually yeah, there is something that you have to do. You have to be radically honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You gotta keep it real. I'm not gonna lie. You got like that's the only thing. That's the only thing. But you don't have to read books. You don't have to study. You don't have to stay up late at night. You don't have to. The only thing you have to do is keep it real. That's the only thing you have to do. Is keep it real. You don't have to learn and all that. You don't have to have understanding. You don't have to be this guru. You don't have to be somebody that people look up to. You don't have to. People don't even have to believe you. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to. You don't have to find your tribe. You don't have to find like-minded people. You can, but I'm saying you don't have to. There's nothing that you have to do to save your soul. See, when I became born, and if you're part of my soul group or my soul tribe, or if we're cut from similar cloth, you're gonna relate to this. When I was born, I took my life very seriously. I took my life seriously, and I took I took when I became I took my life seriously, and when I became spiritual, I took my spirituality seriously. So before I was woke, I took my life seriously. I was like, I only have one life. I'm not going to play with my life. And I was making and I was creating my heaven on earth. I was doing what I needed to do to I was modeling on Instagram, making sure that I wouldn't have to work a job when I graduated high school. Like I was like building my little heaven on earth. Like I took my life very seriously. I was like, I'm only here once, and I'm gonna take it seriously. I'm gonna make sure that I enjoy it. And I'm not just gonna I'm not gonna live as if I don't die, as if I'm not gonna die one day. So I'm gonna really make this life count. And then when I woke up, when I became spiritual, I took I took that serious. I took it real serious. Like, wow, like there's actually more to this world. Wow, there's actually more to me. I'm like, wow, okay, so like I have a soul. Wow, so I took my soul serious. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play with my soul. Like my soul is my soul. This is eternal. This is my soul is sacred. This is the real me that never dies. I have to take it seriously. You see what I'm saying? Um, and so when I took it serious, I was like, okay, so we're the fallen angels, from my understanding. We're all in some form of hell. The world's messed up. Like, okay, like let's like, how can I save my soul? Like, how could I like make sure that I'm straight when I die? Because this is like when I learned about like I had my spiritual awakening, so I learned about like religion and how religion was false. And I was like, okay, so then what do happen when you die then? And I became, I'm a Scorpio, and it's like I became infatuated with death and all this. And it was like I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to understand the situation clearly, right? The truth, right? I wanted to get the situation, the of the world, of the of what's going on in the age of Aquarius. Like wanted to get the current situation like clear, right? Like, okay, like what is it, like what's the predict, like what is the world today, like what is going on, right? What's like humans predicament right now, right? Once I got that down, right, I was like, oh, okay, like people have forgotten who they are. Like we're lost souls, we're asleep, like, and because of that we're being taken advantage of and being used as battery. Okay, cool. Take your power. Okay, cool. So, okay, so this is how you save yourself. Like, okay, this is first. It was like, okay, this is why you're not saved, because it's like when you're waking up, you have to learn how you're not free and how you're actually are a slave, and then you gotta learn how to free yourself, right? And and so I took it seriously. And I was like, I took it seriously to the point that it kept me up at night. I would stress. I would cry. Like, I'm getting vulnerable. Because I was scared. Like, I was scared. I was like, yo, because like I'm a I just want to be okay. Like, I just want to be okay as a soul, because it's like I feel this shit. Like, I feel the spirit world like like deeply. Like, I know there's a world that's not physical, that's just as real, and I take it just as serious because it's just as real. And it was like my dad was super religious and stuff like that, and um the whole thing with his religion was like he pushed it on us, pushed it on us. But really, he just has a very deep fear of hell. He has a very deep fear of hell, and he passed that fear on to his kids, right? Me and my siblings. And I remember when I was like 7, we got like a letter from the mail, and it was like all in red, and it was telling us not to open it or we would go to hell. But then we opened it, and then we started crying after, because we really thought we was gonna go to hell. But long story short, my point is that like I really thought I was going to like I have a deep seated fear of hell, deep seated. And it's like no matter like how like many like spiritual truths and stuff like that I've learned, it was like if I wasn't doing enough shadow work, I wouldn't notice it. I wouldn't peep it. Like, it's still there. Like, that deep and that deep fear of like endless like, oh, suffering for all of eternity. Right, suffering for all of eternity, suffering forever, because you never die. So if you never wake up, then you're gonna be suffering forever. And it's like, yo, I don't want that. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to suffer for all of eternity. Like, it would keep me up at night. Like, y'all don't understand. And I'm crying. The reason why I'm crying is because all of it was like bullshit. Like, I'm crying because it's like, so I've been to the mental homes like twice in my journey, right? I've been in a mental home twice. And throughout the mental homes, I would notice they would always ask me like about my surroundings. Where are you? What city are you in? What's today's date? What's that? And I realized that, I always looked at the doctors and the people in the mental homes as like the bad guys, because it's like, oh, they're calling us crazy, but we're not crazy. We're literally like, this is the fact. They're just trying to hide the truth. No, they weren't. They're not bad, because they're the reason why people are crazy in the first place is because they're stuck in their mind. Like, this is why this shit just like, when I um when it clicked for me, when it clicked for me that there's no enlightenment, like, the no words. My ego, my ego was hurt. My ego didn't want to believe that, because it was like, do you know how much I invested? There's no way somebody tricked me. It's like, I'm not this dumb. There's no way. Since 2020, like 4, 5 years now, like, I've been stressing myself out, constantly in fear and just doubts and mental anguish, and just dying and longing to just be normal. And but having this, but not being able to, because of this deep seated fear of suffering for all of eternity. It just would not let me. It would not allow me to just go and have a regular casual conversation with somebody, a mundane conversation with somebody. It wouldn't let me just go and watch TV just to watch it, just to relax. It wouldn't let me relax. It wouldn't let me make friends and hang out and actually have a fucking childhood. And it wouldn't build actual relationships and bonds with people. Have relationships and bonds with people. Like, it robbed the fucking human experience from me, bro. And the worst part about that shit is that before I became aware, the human experience was what woke me up out of bed in the morning. I loved life, and I still love life. Now that I'm out of hell, and I have this, and I realize this, I now I could do all those things, but I'm 20. At 20, it's like the first, just throw it 20 years. And even though I woke up in 2020, I've always had that deep seated fear of suffering for all of eternity. Like I said, when I was 7, I literally cried because I thought I was going to hell. And so, because of that, I would always need everyone to like me, which brought its own suffering of its own. I would always need everyone. I was pretty much, before I was awakened, I was like an undercover Christian. Like, even though I didn't go to church and stuff like that, like actively, like I still was like your basic like Christian girl. Like, I didn't lie. I was a very good girl. I was always honest with people. People always did me dirty, but I never did them dirty. And I did that so I did that because I needed to, so I would feel good within my own self. Like, okay, I'm not gonna go to hell when I die because I haven't done anything awful. And that's how I operated. And it's like, having to do that stole being able to just relax and enjoy fully the human experience. Plus, also survival mode. But that's all. Like, I loved life. I wake up in the morning excited. Like, I wonder what, like, life was an adventure, bro. Like, I wonder what today is gonna be. I wonder what today is gonna bring. Like, wow, 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 wow. And it was like, I was just a good I just remained a good person. That's how I dealt with, that deep seated fear before I was awake. After I had my awakening, the way I dealt with the deep seated fear was obviously getting on my journey and stuff like that. But like I said, spinning around in circles again and again and again. So I finally realized there's nothing that I have to figure out. There's nothing that I have to do, because there is no suffering for all of eternity. There is no such thing as hell. There's no such thing as hell. The only reason why it talks about suffering, oh, you're going to suffer for all of eternity if you don't wake up, it just means that you're being tricked. And if you don't realize that you're being tricked, then you're going to be tricked forever, because they're not going to stop tricking you until you take your power back. That's what it's saying when it says if you don't wake up, you're going to burn and the fire forever. That's what it means. Not what I thought it was. So doing shadow work Keeping it radical, keeping it real with yourself is what's going to make sure that um this never happens to you again. That you're not being tricked, that your freedom is not being taken from you without, right under your nose without you realizing it. That your soul is not being tainted, it's not being trapped, it's not being none of that. Okay, that you are free. Okay. Um just keep that relationship with truth. But yeah, so just keep it real with yourself. Right? It's not about being a good person. It's not about being a good person. That's that religious shit. It's about keeping it real. That's how you stay out of hell. Okay? As long as you're keeping it real with yourself, you're saved. You're free. You don't have to do anything else other than that. Then just keep it. Just be honest and real with yourself. And it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna hurt forever. Love you. Bye.